Hey, today we're going to talk about practice. So, what do I have to say about the practicing? First of all, I think the last 10 years or so, I've had a practice regimen that I followed. Or at least I think it was until 2018, and after that, it changed a little bit based on what I was actually working on or working towards. I think those years between 2013 or 2014 and 2018 were the ones when I made the most progress. How did I make the most amount of progress with guitar playing? I had a pretty simple practice regimen that I followed, and that itself just made a really basic foundation that I worked on, and it was really easy to start working on different things and add there, whether it was like let's say modes of the melodic minor or harmonic minor. It was really easy to just get that musical context, add it to the practice regimen, and then I could make the progress that way. But I think since I moved to Denmark almost 4 years ago, things started to change a little bit, because I started to write more music and also be more like a project centered with my practicing. So I used songwriting as a tool for me to at least maintain and perhaps make some progress technically. So I think there are four things that make the foundation for everything that I practice, whether it's using a certain practice regimen or just today's like project focused practicing or guitar work that I do. So number one is having a goal or some kind of reason why to go to the guitar lessons or why to learn the guitar playing. I used to have a few students that didn't really have a strong why, and that also made me as a teacher be in a really tough position to try to find out things that the student would like to work on. So once the reason why or some kind of goal has been set, I think everything after that becomes a lot more easier. So number two is basically break it down. And by that I mean you have to break it down, like what do you need to actually learn in order to get to the goal. Whether it's like you want to learn some kind of songs by a certain artist, like what are those playing techniques that are being used. Do you need some kind of fretboard knowledge? Do you need to know scales, some kind of music theory or something similar to that? So it helps a lot to break the goal down to a certain fragments or pieces that you need to work on in order to get to that goal. And number three thing that I think is really important when it comes down to practicing and all that stuff is keep it practical and creative and musical. And by that I mean you can always try to learn all the scales or modes of the like melodic minor and harmonic minor and harmonic major or whatever. But the most important thing is to apply it to a musical situation, understand when and how to do it, and perhaps be creative with that. And in my situation, I basically wrote the album Time to Define while I was working on some of the guitar exams, and I used the song Time to Define as an example of using different kind of modes. And well, that's probably how that song sounds like, but to me it was like telling a musical journey by using the theoretical things that I was working on. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to write a complete song, but I think that is actually quite a cool thing to do. But maybe it's like something like write a little chord progression and try to improvise on top of that. and create a line, a melodic line. And I think that's like the test where you can notice if you really know that scale or that chord or chord progression. And number 4 is kind of, it ties everything together, and you must have fun while practicing. If you don't feel like practicing and you don't feel like you're making any progress, that doesn't motivate you, and that's how you won't make any progress. So I think it's really important to have fun. So if playing guitar doesn't feel like motivating, you have to take a look at those other steps. So those were the 4 tips that I wanted to share today. I hope you found them useful. Please let me know what you think about it. Leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe for more content like this. It helps me a lot. And yeah, see you on the next one. Goodbye.